They say they're ready to go. We're ready to go. Everyone is 1-1 in Group A. And Chritoben, the 20-year-old, will start with it first. We got a 20-year-old taking on an 18-year-old.
In a $190,000 prize pool tournament, no big deal.
No big deal.
I mean, can you imagine Pavan? He's just 18 years old. He just won $100,000. I asked him what he did to celebrate after he won the $100,000. He said he went and hit some Benihanas with the boys, a little hibachi.
I was thinking Chuck E. Cheese, some skee ball.
Jeez, you're out of line. What do you go with at the hibachi? You steak and chicken kind of guy? You had the shrimp?
Everything.
Steak, chicken, shrimp?
Whatever they're serving up, I'm taking.
The real underestimated move at the hibachi, Scott, is the crab cake. All right, let me focus. So we got win and get in games. I got to, don't get me going on hibachi. We got big Madden football going on right here.
It's going to be Chritoben with it first. If you're just joining us, Scott Cole and RG along with you.
And what you see on the screen right now is Chritoben is going through his formations and doing formation subs. He's putting all the players in the exact spots he wants them on each formation. The way you do that is when you're picking your play by formation at the play call screen, you select RB, select to the player you want to sub out with the A button, and then it brings you to the list of players you can sub in for them. That is a key mechanic if you want to play this game on a high level. You have to introduce that into your game to make sure you're putting players in the most advantageous spots for you to be successful. So if you're not using the formation subs mechanic, you better put it into your arsenal.
Early run here by Mixon.
And if you're Pavan, you gotta watch out for this Joe Mixon. We saw Chritoben, that was his only big touchdown against Beast Mode, was the inside zone to Mixon. And then in the highlights for Saya, we saw Mixon make several plays as well. And he's a 97 overall running back. He is going to be a problem.
Sean will hand it off to Mixon. Pushed it out to the 33. Here comes a huge 3rd and 2.
Tobin staying in this gun punch tight end. And we've seen Pavan in this nickel 3-3-5 defense. Ever since he switched to this defense, he has been having a lot of success. And he just keeps it with a cover 2 style defense.
Only needs 2. And
good hit.
Boy, hit at the point of contact. Still hangs on for the first down. That was a bang play to move the chains. Trips to the left. Sean barking out the orders. Win and you're in. Everybody at 1-1.
Oh, he's sending goons.
If you're beast mode right now, you're kind of hoping Pavan floods Chritoben right here. And you take care of business on the other side.
Help out with the point differential, absolutely. I mean, if you're beast mode and you take care of business on the other side,
you win.
You're good.
You win and you're good.
You got nothing to worry about.
Mixon makes a move. 1 man to beat, and he will.
Goodness.
Jamal Adams got put on skates. Touchdown, Joe Mixon.
Oh, man, he just threw the clothes in the dryer because that was a spin cycle if I ever seen one. And what a way to respond for Chritoben. You get back up here on the main stage. You're back in this tournament going up against the $100,000 man. And you answer with a touchdown drive, giving the ball to your best player. Now can you get it done on defense? Christian Lomenzo, 20 years old from Tampa, Florida. In his first ever live event at a major on the main stage.
Just a good name.
It is a nice name.
Now batting, number 9, Christian
Lomenzo. I could picture you calling some baseball.
I'm not too bad.
I could picture it.
Became the first American to call FIFA a couple a couple weeks back.
Big shout out to FIFA. I'll tell you, the EA game I've been on lately, Scott, a lot, other than Madden, is that NHL. We got the Mighty Ducks created out there. Everybody's got a duck. I'm Fulton Reed on defense with the slap shots. If you run into the Ducks out there in that shell team play, you're likely running into me, Chow, and the boys.
Been known to fire up the world of Chell.
But it's all about Madden today here, Cole. You see the players continuing do the formation subs, get their audibles right. See how Pavan can respond. Got a big touchdown run from Chritoben.
McKinnon spinning back into the line. We'll mark him down at the 27. He's going to bring up 3rd and 8.
The one thing I've noticed from Pavan is seems to be a little bit of the most reckless with those spins. I've seen him spin into defenders multiple times now. And he's already fumbled from it once. He's going to need to be careful.
6-18.
Flip it back the other way. 12 on the play clock. Here for this year's club champ. Lost his first game. Bounced back in the second, and there's Boyd bouncing out to the 49.
Nice play right there from Pavan. His gun punch. Flips it, motions out the wheel route from the verticals. Nobody out there to follow him. Quick, easy snap, throw read.
6-18. Come here.
Carr. Firing,
bad
dangerous.
Bad read, Scott. He had the corner route over top. Instead, checks down where there's 2 defenders in that area. Luckily for him, it's a 4-yard gain, but that receiver could have got hit. The ball could have got tipped, and then it could have got picked. Look how close Chritoben's moving the goons into the box.
Carr somehow picks up the blitz. And there is Hill. He's got the speed, and he'll stop at the 18. Derek Carr, 3 of 3 for Pavan. This is one guy. I mean, if anybody, I mentioned Kiv and some others, but you cannot give this guy time. Yeah. He will dot you up.
And he's got that Derek Carr, who's probably one of the best quarterbacks in Mutt Draft. I believe he's a 95 overall, about 82 speed. A rocket of an arm.
And I want to say 5 of our 16 ended up getting him in the draft.
Because here's the thing. In the draft, 2 of the best mobile quarterbacks there are Derek Carr and Josh Allen. So one of those guys comes up, you're more than likely going to take him. Pavan was very happy when he saw Carr come up. And it doesn't hurt that he's the Oakland Raiders quarterback. Pavan, obviously the Raiders defending club champion.
Oh, yeah.
He got some love from them on Twitter after he won the belt. And I feel like since he's won that belt, they've turned it around. They grabbed AB, they're making moves.
And
bad read.
I guess it's not a bad read if you throw it twice, and both times for completions. This one for a first down.
Well, you can throw it into coverage and put it into the spot where your receiver catches it. The problem is even if he catches it, you're leaving him vulnerable to get hit. And once he gets hit, that ball can pop out, and anything can happen from there. You usually want your guys in a lot more space than that.
Saquon. Spin to the 4-yard line. Here comes the 2nd and goal. Chritoben trying to hold the door here.
Chritoben locking up. Seeing Bob in his head.
Got a little coast-to-coast battle. Chritoben from Tampa, Florida. And you know the Californian of Pavan. Really in his backyard. Barkley.
Defense.
And if you talk about these great California players like Problem, Pavan, the list can go on and on. They're happy that the home for John Madden football is here in the Bay.
Yeah, not a lot of travel time for a lot of these players. Pavan especially. Kerry Q's another one. And here we go, 4th and goal. It's hold the door time. If you're Chritoben, you got to expect QB sneak here from Pavan.
We'll take it to the second quarter. Just the opening drive here for Pavan after the long run by Chritoben. So they just put Tobin on everything. Like I would be Cole Tobin. You'd be like RG Tobin.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Exactly.
Still don't get it.
I don't understand it. He just told me that's what it was. He said it didn't make a lot of sense.
Saquon on the second effort.
Hold the door! Hold on!
Gotta fight.
His first time on the big stage, gets in there, manually blows up the fullback dive.
Boy, the second effort, I thought he was going to get in there. And now he's in the shadow of his own end zone. This has got to come out quick. The throw, and Calvin Ridley will haul it in at the 8.
Big. Be on your first live event in a win and get in game, and then you turn yourself into a hodor on the goal line against a $100,000 winner. It's a big deal.
Mixon will fall forward for the first down. Boy, he could go on another long drive here and really take control of this ball game.
Absolutely. You can just take your time if you're Chritoben. He has plenty of time, Scott. Like you said, over 4 minutes and change.
Ridley will pick up the first down.
And you got to remember, Pavan, this is a young man. He's already won $100,000. He's locked in for the Madden ball. If you're Chritoben, if you want a chance to get to that Madden ball, you got to make a deep run into this tournament, potentially make the championship game. So the sense of urgency, you have to think, is more on Chritoben's side than it is on Pavan's.
Stretch it out with Joe Mixon.
But the problem for Chritoben is Pavan's always going to have a sense of urgency to get that cash, and Madden ball or not, there's a lot of cash on the line in this one, Scott, and Pavan's well aware of that. We got a $190,000 prize pool in this tournament.
Already won $100 grand. Look at that. And there's a pick.
Keep throwing at that
Brown steps in front.
Come on.
And you hear Pavan talking to him, Scott. And one of the things that was funny that Chritoben mentioned, he said this would be my first time meeting friends like Pavan and Beast Mode Mac in Crush in person. And sure, it's all fun and games. You're a community, you get to meet each other. But once you get on those sticks, the friendship needs to go out the window for a little bit.
Boy, he didn't need to spin.
Failing.
All it takes is one touchdown.
Touchdown.
Oh, man.
The turnover leads to points, RG.
Here we go, Scott. Knotted up at 7. It's just the way it should have been. Chritoben got ball first, got the stop on Pavan. Pavan gets the stop, gets the score. We're all knotted up. How are you going to respond, Chritoben? This is nuts, Scott. Win and get in ball games in the Madden Challenge, Group A.
Hey, everybody is 1-1. We got 2 games going at once. If you want to watch Beast Mode and Saya, that's going on over on Mixer. Everybody has a chance. And we're all tied up again. The shot. Got to get rid of it. And there's Calvin Ridley.
Scott,
I'm just not okay with a Clemson guy throwing it to an Alabama guy. Let me just say that for the record.
A little uneasy
Something's
over
not
there.
right.
Congrats on your Clemson Tigers national championship earlier.
Able to get it done again by the best quarterback in the nation, in the world.
That Trevor Lawrence is something special, huh?
Well, he said he might be the #1 pick if he wasn't a freshman.
Oh,
the shot.
Good read. Oh.
Take a look at this again.
Ooh, what a work right there. And we talk about it. If you want to play this game on a high level, you better not be controlling your D linemen trying to pass rush the quarterback. You better get on one of those nickelbacks or linebackers and take away that middle of the field. That's what all these players do when they're playing at a high level, like it or not. And if you're not willing to adjust to that, you're going to get flooded.
And that's what tied us up. Boy, winning untouched in that sequence of events. And now Chritoben working his way to the 41, and he'll take it to the 2-minute warning.
And I did get an update, Scott, so it's win and get in. And then what it'll do is it goes to the head-to-head.
Oh, wow.
To determine who's going to be the third person to play, to make the get out of the group. Head-to-head goes before point differential.
I'm okay with that. I like that difference.
Yeah, and then if there's no head-to-head in some situations, which you won't see in these groups, goes to the point differential.
So I don't have to do math, is what you're telling me.
No math. Just got to remember who beat who.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
And Ridley. So what you're telling me, if Chritoben loses this ball game, he's out. If Beast Mode wins.
If Beast Mode wins.
Okay. Wow. That's the excitement of everybody at 1-1. 1:20 to go now after the first down.
Richmond.
Just outside the red zone. And Sanders will pick up the first down. Got to be careful with that spin. All the way to the 10-yard line, and there comes a timeout from Pavan.
It's a smart timeout right there by Pavan. If you can give yourself about 50 seconds or so by the end of this drive, you'll have a chance to make something happen. Here comes Chritoben. He likes to run the stretch. We've seen he goes dive this time right up the middle.
And Mixon will get to the 5. There's the second timeout by Pavan.
When you see those big jumbo 2 tight end type formations, Scott, you always got to be thinking stretch or dive. Those are the 2 money runs that players love to go because you have an outside option and an inside option. You always make sure you have the stretch and the dive in your audibles. Speaking of audibles, that's another important mechanic. That audibles on the fly. If you're not using that,
it's 2nd and 5 here, Archie, but you might as well call it 2nd and goal. There's no way to pick up that first down. I know that yellow line is there. The half-yard line is as close as you can get.
Oh, screw it!
There's the timeout, 3rd and 8.
Look how good these players are, Scott, at just shooting gaps and stopping the run themselves.
What you do here, RG, is you try to throw it in the end zone. If it's not open, you take the sack to make the clock move.
And the team with the most points is going to win the game.
You don't throw it away. You don't throw it away here.
Yeah, you definitely need to keep the clock moving for sure if you don't score the touchdown. Leave Pavan with about 25 seconds, maybe 20 seconds to work with.
And he'll hand it off. That's what he's thinking.
Let me block.
I don't know about the run.
Well, Pavan's up there calling for the blocked field goal.
He was asking nicely. Let me block this field goal.
We've already seen Chritoben miss 1 field goal up there on the main stage.
You can't miss it from 24 yards.
Well, here's the thing.
Come on.
You got Pavan sitting next to you telling you he's going to try to go scum and block it.
I might take the delay of game just to get a better angle here.
This isn't that easy, Scott.
I don't call timeout here. I moved back. I moved back to make that angle a little easier on me, but this is a chip shot.
It is a chip shot. Fair to say. You do got to be mindful of one of those blockers, though, timing it. Oh, he went offsides. He's not going to be able to block it.
And it's a perfect kick anyway. It's up and it's good.
Doesn't matter at all. And when Scott says perfect kick, that means if you kick it perfectly, which is right over that top accuracy bar, top power bar, and right in that accuracy bar, it gives you a perfect kick, and that eliminates the chance for your kick to get blocked. So it's ideal to kick it that way. It's just a harder kick to make because the more power you put on it, the faster that accuracy meter comes down the second time around. If you're Pavan right here, I feel like you just need to protect this ball, Scott. Don't do anything silly where you could turn it over and let Chritoben get more points before the half.
Go to the air. Carr. And he'll get tripped up. It's Khalil Mack on the sack. And that may be the final play. See if Pavan lets it go one more time.
And that's a sore spot for Pavan. You remember his old gamer tag was Khalil Mack. And then once his Raiders got rid of him and traded him, he had to switch to gamer tag.
And he throws this one to Tyreek Hill, who's got some space. But that's how the half will come to a close. 10-7. Just a reminder, the 2019 Madden Challenge is brought to you by New Era, the official cap of NFL sidelines. There's no Bears one there because that one ended up in my book bag somehow.
I'm looking for the Patriots one. I'm trying to go scum. I've gotten a couple hats at least. I'm still waiting for the headphones.
If you told me you didn't get a hat, I would call you out on that one because I've seen you walking around with a few hats.
I got them.
Let's take a quick peek in at what's going on the other side because I know this game is so important with everybody at 1-1. You can see we got a 14-3 game, and beast mode here near the end of the half is going to make it 14-6. So it's a 8-point differential over there with 114. So this is huge.
How about Saya just up 8 points against the MAC? He said it. Everyone's been sleeping. Oh, no. Well, almost messed up on special teams right there as I'm about to pay him some homage. But Saya now, he already knocked off one belt winner. He's trying to get two under his belt.
Yeah, and remember, this is a win and get in scenario. This is the game that's happening over on Mixer in the Players Lounge. It's an 8-point ball game, 1:14 to go here in the half. So this is a live look-in.
It's a big drive, too.
Got a one-possession game here. Derek Carr. It's Patriots uniforms. That's a little unsettling, too. Steps, throws, high point.
Oh, you got to be careful, Saya. One of the things I loved about Saya is he plays very unique. He says he's one of the guys, you'll see me in 5 wide, you'll see me in jumbo, you'll see me in gun normal. He's like, I want to prove that you can win a belt without running bunch and without running the meta. And so far, his unique style of play has seemed to have caught his opponents off guard, and I love to see that.
Once again, this is a live look-in at our other game right before the half here. And we'll bring you all the highlights from not only this game, but our featured game as well. And there's Nick Chubb, the former Bulldog, somehow gets out of the tackle. Just shy of the first down. That's going to bring him a 3rd and 1. He can't stop the clock with a minute to go.
And remember, when you see Nick Chubb in a Patriots uniform, it's because we're in the MUT draft mode. These guys aren't playing with the Patriots and the Chiefs. These are teams that they drafted in the MUT draft mode and built based off of a draft where you get 3 selections per round, 20 rounds to select players, build your team with, to add on to your base team. And that's why you're going to see Derek Carr in a Patriots jersey right now.
Lets it fly. One-hand grab by Diggs.
The clock's ticking though, Scott.
Like Kraus laid a hit as Carr let it go, and then Diggs able to haul it in plus territory. As RG mentioned, no timeouts, so go empty set.
He needs to get in field goal range. A field goal would be huge here to make it 2 possession, and there he goes, a dot to Diggs. And he has plenty of time to kick this field goal. That's a huge play right there from Saya.
And that's what he's going to do. He's not going to run any more plays here. It's going to be a 43-yarder. And you mentioned, one of the things you mentioned to me yesterday is...
He's taking too long to kick this, though, Scott. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is a guy that doesn't run the meta, though, is what I was about to say. If you had to pick playbooks, he would pick the bottom 3 of everyone's list.
When I asked all the players, what's your favorite playbooks and what's your least favorite playbooks, his favorite playbooks were literally the 3 playbooks Canes told me were his least favorite playbooks.
So at the half, 17-6, Saya taking the lead. We'll have all the highlights coming up from that one. That was just a live look-in of what's going on Mixer. Over on this side, it is bananas as we take a look at the Group A standings. As I mentioned, everyone 1-1 in Group A. Doesn't happen very often, so a win-and-get-in scenario. Only one of these players won't advance on, so it'll come down to, of course, wins and losses. Then it's going to come down to head-to-head. So Beast Mode Mac is in a situation right now where he needs a win right now. And, of course, the winner, the top of Group A, will get that bye and get to skip the wild card round when we get into single elim.
Yeah, we got a very close game in this one. We obviously got the win and get in, but that field goal by Saya at the end of that last game, at the end of that last half, was huge to make it 2-possession ball game.
Let's get back in our game.
The
start of the third. It's 10-7.
One of the things I thought was interesting about this group, Scott, is our former competitive player, our senior quality analyst back there at Tiburon on Madden, Will Sykes, former competitive player. He told me, RG, I used to play Saya, and he is a lot better than people give him credit for. You got to watch out for him. He's going to make some noise. That's my boy from back in the day. So I know Will's back there at the studio. Got to be happy watching his boy, his old friend, representing right now.
Yeah, 98's down. 58,
we'll see if he can hold on to that lead against Mac.
10 minutes to go in this one. 5-minute quarters. And there goes McKinnon. He'll pick up about 3. They'll bring up a 2nd and 7.
694.
Be a big drive.
Pavan's been in this place before. Down to start the half. With an opportunity to drive down here. Take the lead.
Goes from a little gun tight, audibles to the bunch, changing his formations, directing traffic at the line, flips the play. He's getting adjusting on offense right now, Scott.
Carr.
Oh.
Standing, throwing. Boyd to the 34-yard line. Carr 6 for 6, 112 yards.
I thought he had Tyreek going up that seam, was about to beat the user defender over top. He just held on to it a little bit longer. Might have had a touchdown shot there.
Hands it off again to Saquon. And that'll move the sticks. So out to the 39-yard line. These are two players that really match up well together. I'm expecting photo finish in this one. This will go down to the very wire. Saquon will stay in bounds. It'll be close to the first down. I think he's going to be just shy, 2nd and 1.
Pavan looking good out of this Bengals playbook. Audible in from the gun, coming out in the gun tight flex. Audible into some bunch, running some plays out of this tight flex. Looking pretty comfortable in this offense. And you got to remember Chritoben rocking that Miami Dolphins playbook set. Hasn't been too bad himself.
Carr, he'll just take off for the first down. Slides down to the 36. He looks so comfortable using Derek Carr.
That's his guy, man. When I used to play, I think it was Madden 08, and the Patriots were actually good enough for me to use, Scott. It was such a morale booster. When you're playing with your guys, man, it gives you a little extra, you know, a little extra oomph.
Go. Get set.
So 1st and 10 at the 36. Tighten up the formation, can't get outside. Great penetration by the D-line to bring up a 2nd and 14.
That's good defense by Chritoben. He had a bunch of people in the box right there. He was ready for that run.
Shotgun formation here for the bunch.
It's going to be hard to run up that middle when you just got these linebackers hovering right over that 4-man front that's pinched on that D-line.
Carr. Shot picking up the blitz, and there's Tire Heat Hill. He'll drag it up.
We got hitters, man. Get up. Let's go, man.
And McDonald with the coverage. The fumble recovery. After the big hit, Saquon will cough it up. And Chritoben has got the rock with a chance to go down here and take a 2-possession lead.
Oh, man, a critical fumble for Pavan right there, down 3. And if you're Chritoben, now's the time to forget being conservative. You need to go down and get yourself 7 to make this a 2-possession ball game. If I'm Chritoben, this is where I get aggressive and I take some more risks.
Let's head out to Rico Williams at the Players Lounge to find out what's going on in the other game.
Beast Mode Mac found his target in the corner of the end zone, went up top, scored the touchdown, and cut it to a 4-point deficit.
Appreciate it, Rico. So Beast Mode, that game's over on Mixer. Now within striking distance. Speaking of striking distance, Sanders all the way down to the 27-yard line.
This ain't a league of their own, but you could call him Dottie. That was a deep post route. Get himself in field goal range, and Chritoben's moving the rock right now. He's got space. This is big, Scott. If he can get a touchdown here, he's got Pavan's back all the way against the ropes.
11 carries for 91 yards now for Joe Mixon as Brown makes the stop. It'll be 1st and 10 in the red zone. 3-point lead, looking to make it more. Everybody was thinking it was going to be Beast Mode and Pavan. And Jordan Reed picks up 4. Make it 3.5. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You know what's funny? If the game's ended right now, it would be Chritoben and Saya who would be the ones that got out of the groups with 2 wins. You can't sleep on these guys. If you're good enough to make it to one of these events, you are a force to be reckoned with.
Correction on that down and distance. After the gain of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. And he'll hand it off again to Joe Mixon. Takes a big hit at the 10-yard line. Pick up a 3rd and 5.
Chritoben, this is a big play coming up here, Scott. You get a lot of big plays in Madden due to the short quarter length, so everything's so much important. But this is a very big one for Chritoben to keep this drive alive and get himself a touchdown. Looks like he wants to go with the toss, and you see the line shift right there from Pavan. He was ready for it.
Oh my God! Who just tackled me?
Boy, he thought he had open spaces. Put up your 4s, RG. We're headed to the 4th quarter. It's going to be a 4th and 4 headed to the 4th.
Said, oh my God, who tackled me? The corner just fights off the block, makes a touchdown save and tackle. And that could end up being huge for Pavan. Field goal's not perfect, so he could get blocked here.
Uh-oh, that's first.
It's up and it's good. No good.
Did he miss that?
What in the world just happened?
What's going on?
He jumps and makes it a 1st and goal.
Got the offsides? Did he get the offsides before the kick? Is that what happened there, Scott?
So what happened was
I need a replay or something.
he makes the field goal, but as he's jumping, gets called for offsides. That's enough to move the chains.
Because he snapped it as he tried to time the block. You do the jump animation a little bit early.
I've never seen it.
And that's why it's risky to go for the block when 5 yards will get the player a first down. This was something I talked about with Serious Mo at the club championship when I was wondering why certain players didn't try to block the kick. It was for that reason specifically. And it comes back to bite Pavan in the butt. That was huge.
You know, I'm nonchalant after the touchdown by Mixon has made it a 2-score game. So the offsides leads to a 10-point lead. Because I'm like, hey, he kicked it, it went through. But the points aren't moving.
But he was offside.
We haven't seen it yet. We have not seen that in competitive play.
Well, you got to remember, Scott, earlier in the year, there was a bug where you could just spam the RT button.
We got the replay.
Yeah, you're going to see this guy right there.
In the neutral zone.
He's offsides as the ball is getting snapped, a little double circle by accident. And that is huge. And like I said earlier in the year, you could just spam the right trigger without worrying about jumping off sides. That bug got fixed, so now you need to time it perfectly. Slightly mistimed from Pavan.
Ooh, big hit.
Wow.
That's his first incompletion.
And if you're a high-level player, you need to take that in consideration now. If you're going to block a field goal, you need to look at the down and distance. If a going off sides gives up the first down, it may not be worth it to attempt the field goal block.
Hey, 7:34.
That was huge, Scott.
That offsides.
Good defense.
Pick it.
The defense
might have knocked Pavan out of this tournament. I know some things got to happen on the other side. Can't get in your feels right now. You need points.
If you're Pavan, you're hoping that Saya handles business. That way you get the head-to-head over Beast Mode Mac.
So Saya just scoring on the other side. We're getting a game update. But Beast Mode is on the drive, trailing by 7. So if you're like me, if I was home right now, I'd have both of these games up side by side.
Oh, absolutely. Good Madden football all around.
7:34.
And this is it, Scott. This is 4th and 5 right here.
7:34.
Remember, Saya beat Pavan.
Yes.
If Pavan loses here, he's out.
And Pavan just takes a delay of game, Scott. On 4th and 5, speaking about losing and get out, you can't be taking penalties like that if that's a situation you want to avoid.
Right down.
Look at both of these guys, too, with the fresh fades up there, man. What it was like to be young, huh, Scott? Big play here, 4th and 10 for the club champion, 100 grand man, Pavan.
Got to get to the 35.
Oh, A's wide open. What a play.
Saquon will hold on after the big hit.
I love that route combination right there. A deep out with a deep dig over top of it. Make the user choose which one he wants to guard and throw to the other one. Flawless execution right there by Pavan and a huge 4th and 10 play. That's a big boy play right there, Scott.
Hand it off to McKinnon. To the 46.
There he goes again, though, Scott, spinning into a defender, leaving himself susceptible to that fumble. He needs to be careful with that. It's one of the biggest weaknesses I've seen in his game thus far.
Needed to score before the 2-minute warning, RG. Carr.
Run.
Will take off and slide down right at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. He's got about A minute 14 before that 2-minute warning.
694.
Still has all 3 of those timeouts right there. So if he can get it done quickly, he's all the way back in the ball game.
Throws one to Barkley, who high points it at the 32. Boy, almost looked like he floated that one into coverage. But Barkley able to haul it in.
734.
Was his, he threw.
Saquon Barkley, he was one of the better receiving backs in the league this year, so he's going to have good route running stats and good catching stats compared to a lot of those halfbacks. So smart of Pavan to get him out there.
35 seconds before the 2-minute warning.
Oh!
Hill, that might be the best thing that happened. Just dropped that.
Oh, absolutely. Mel Blount waiting for you in the flat. You got to be careful.
808.
And what Pavan's doing is he comes out in that tight flex and then audibles to bunch. And what that allows him to do is get Saquon Barkley right there into that tight end slot. So now you got about a 92 speed athletic freak in your tight end spot. That's going to be a nightmare.
You got to bring the dogs. Try to push him out. Forget about it. It's a pick.
Oh, he's got room.
Oh, you got to pick up that block, Mel.
Let's take a look at this again on this big pick.
He has the out route, Scott. You're going to see the out get open again right here. He just misses it, goes over the middle, and Tyreek Hill just gets bodied.
You're off your game when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers, my man. That's an INT.
They got to tempt me to eat a Snickers. Shout out to my guy Brian Parker, a designer back at the Tiburon studio, Scott. When I was up here mad that I didn't have the Snickers plug, when I got back to the studio from the club championship, he had about 8 Snickers bars waiting for me at my desk. That was big for morale. Appreciate you, BP.
Well, this 10-point lead is big for morale right now for Chritoben. If Saya wins over there against Beast Mode Mac, Pavan's out. The club champion winner.
It's the Madden challenge. Anything could happen, Scott.
Yeah, once everybody went 1-1, you remember Saya put it on Pavan.
That game's going to be interesting right here. You see Chritoben's going to punt this. I mean, Pavan's going to need a miracle to win this one. I think it's really going to come down to that Saya Mac game. To determine the fate, you got to think Chritoben's got this.
Let's figure out what's going on in our other game. Rico, what you got, man?
We have absolute pandemonium here. As you can see, Beast Mode laid it down, trailing by 7. He was about to punch it in. Saya recovered the fumble, went crazy. Beast Mode needs to lock down on defense if he wants a shot of advancing.
Boy, a fumble in the red zone. Fumble in the red zone there by Beast Mode Mac.
And we talked about it, Scott, how many times Beast Mode has been at the end of a game and a critical play has cost him a lot of money. And that fumble in the other game looks like that might be it. You got to assume the way things are going, Beast Mode's not going to be the one to get out of this.
It's a safety. And Chritoben looks like he's going to be moving on to single limb. And I guess it comes down, so hold on, I'm going to do the math here. Chritoben might win this group. I think he's going to win Group A.
Yeah, Chritoben and Saya, most likely.
What I'm saying is, I think Chritoben's about to get the bye.
That is important, Scott. We didn't mention that the 1 seed does get that very important bye.
And Beast Mode would have to lock up over there in that final 23 seconds.
If you're Pavan, you just got to be wondering what is going on in that Saya game. You got to be praying to the Madden gods that Saya took care of business. That's got to be an intense feeling. This one's over.
He's going to bend the knee here. Try to get that final timeout away from Pavan.
Christian Lomenzo, he has to be hyped up to get out of the group. His mom, Camille, his dad, Jan, brothers, Jacob and Julian, the grandparents, Lomenzo, the grandparents, Gefke. He said they're all at home watching. They got to be pumped up.
Check. 3 down.
Want to welcome those folks in that were watching the Beast Mode Saya game as Chritoben has taken care of business here. And he's going to be, looks like he's going to be moving on. Yeah, they're up talking about it right now. And of course, I don't even know, but speculative.
Over there?
Yeah, over here.
I think Pavan might be out. We don't know for sure. We're going to have to find out over there in the Players Lounge what happened from Rico at some point. But let's focus on this game right here. Chritoben. Do I see? Am I saying
Chritoben? Chritoben.
What's Chritoben? Is that even a thing? Chritoba? Am I thinking about burritos at this point? We're going to welcome him over here. Chritoben. Welcome to the. This is our Tobin. Cole Tobin, as Steve gets some set up and ready to go here. A lot of guys were sleeping on you, man. Didn't think you guys were going to be the ones coming out of the groups. And pending that score and that final between Beast Mode and Saya, you might have gotten the bye.
Yeah, that'll be really good if Saya pulls it out for me. But I don't know. Yeah, that would be good for me, I guess.
Chritoben, you started off 0-1. You rally off 2 straight wins. Saya just handled business against Pavan. He had to be feeling good. Then you come out here against the club champion, take care of business. What allowed you to just turn it around after that loss and get those big wins?
Yeah, after my second game, I was just feeling comfortable because usually I play with the PS4 controller, but I couldn't because it got messed up when I was traveling in my suitcase. The buttons were kind of jammed. So the first game, I guess I was a little, not comfortable, but I definitely felt comfortable in that third game. I knew what I was doing and stuff.
So game 1, a little controller adversity. You got used to it.
Did you check your luggage?
Yeah, I put it in my backpack.
So this is a rookie mistake here.
Yeah,
I got that at smashed up, literally.
Yeah, I did that at Club Series too. The buttons were kind of like jammed, but I got to stop doing that, obviously.
Let's take a look at the highlights here.
You got a new strategy for the traveling with the controller.
Those are some deep nuggets right here, and of course you're facing the club champion, but it didn't matter. It's Mixon has been huge for you, buddy.
Yeah, like one of the best players you can get in the drafts. The way that draft champions plays, you want to have a great running back because that just opens up everything else so much more.
You've been having a great running back, and I mean, you saw Pavan, he got himself back into this game. What's going through your head as you see him start making this comeback?
Man, after I threw that, well, I was controlling the game. I was up 7-0 with the ball. I just got lucky on a stop on the goal line, and then I threw the pick, and it just changed all momentum, and then I let him run for a touchdown. I usually don't let that happen, but I just came out and kept playing good.
Real quick, the sigh of relief you must have had on that big field goal when he went for the block and you caught him offside.
Oh, man, that changed the game.
That was the whole game.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Have you seen that happen at all yet this year?
Yeah, I've seen it happen, but it only happens if you try to block the field goal, and then they'll get the little animation to go off sides, and then I just snapped it when I saw that happen, and I was like, oh, we get a first down.
Well, the folks in the back told me it is confirmed you will have the bye. What's the feeling right now that hey, there's a game I don't have to play here. I can sit back and relax and see who I'm going to play in the single limps.
Yeah, it's amazing because if I didn't get the bye, I'd be in the wild card, and I would have to play like 3 hours later tonight. So I'd just be sitting there waiting, not playing. But as you saw, when I play more games at a time, I get in a rhythm.
So are you going to buy a PlayStation controller later on, or
I'll just use the Xbox.
You're sticking with the Xbox?
Stick with it, man.
That's tough.
Don't change anything. Chritoben, I just want real quick for the people at home, you came into this as kind of a dark horse, not a lot of experience, and you came out, you handled business, you've made a name for yourself. What advice do you want to give to people that are home in a similar situation like you that are trying to burst onto this scene and make a name for themselves and really break through?
Yeah, so just play the game. The more reps you get, the better you will be, and just like watch people play on Twitch. You can see the best players play, and you can kind of see what they do and try to mimic it.
That's good advice right there. Obviously, it works, right?
All right, he is moving on. He will be getting the bye. You know, everybody thought it was not going to be. We thought it was going to be Pavan. We thought it was going to be Beast Mode. Appreciate you